Very happy with my performance, of course. I think it was a great performance. You know, just a lot of training in this camp. A lot of training in this camp. But we've been training for him since August of last year. So, you know, it was unfortunate that we couldn't fight in October. But you know, we stay training. We stay getting ready for this former Hall of Famer and you know, show tonight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, raise your hand and we'll try to get the mic to you for a question. Oh, we got one right here in the corner.
Mohammed Mubarak with the Electronic Urban Report. Looking back on your career up to this point, what are your thoughts about the grading of this fight? And how do you grade yourself for your performance in this fight?
The grading? I think I did very good. I can give this an A performance because it's not too much damage I took from this fight. I did use my reach like everybody wants me to always. So I think listening and sticking to the plan gives me that A performance. I don't give it A plus. I give it an A performance. We got one over here.
Hi, Sebastian. Congratulations. It's Saucy with Elite Champ TV. Was Keith tougher than you thought he would be? Because, you know, there were some moments where, you know, we saw that battle and it was really amazing to watch.
No, it was not actually. But all credit to him, of course. I take my hat off to Keith. Of course, he's a great former champion. Like I said, a future Hall of Famer for sure. But no, we trained very hard for this fight, and we made sure that we crossed our T's and dotted our I's, so that performance from him wouldn't be nothing for us to, nothing crazy for us to handle.
Yeah, you did great in there. How did it feel to just have the crowd go wild at the end?
I was happy. I was very happy because I think this is, by myself at least, as a main event fighter now, this is the most I ever packed up a place. So seeing that, seeing the fans enjoy my fight as well too. I mean, that's never really a problem, but seeing that much people for me and hearing the crowd cheer for me when I walk out, I'm not hearing no boos that much anymore too. So I don't know, I'm very grateful for that.
We got another one.
Sebastian, great performance again. Keith Thurman, it was part of the victory at 147 with Thurman. With Burrow and Crawford, and they didn't fight him. So good to you. Right now, you put yourself on top at 154. Would you consider going up to 160 if the matchup is right for you?
As of right now, no. There's so much fights at 154. You know, it doesn't make sense for me to just abandon that weight class, especially me being a world champion. You know. We have all kinds of names, and I think I'm on fire, so why believe it?
Sebastian, back here, Marcus Hayes with Fight Hub TV. First off, congratulations. I know that you put so much into your performances and you have to be pleased with the way that things look tonight. But I want to ask you, in the last couple of fights, every time somebody has seemed to land a meaningful shot on you, you seem to return almost like you're returning for a fire with a machine gun. What's going through your mind when you're lighting a person up like that, sending them across the ropes, and you just are, I was talking to some fans, and everybody is so blown away by the level of calm, but also with you being so violent at the same time. Can you talk about that?
You know, there's I don't know what round it was, but he did hit me with a punch, and it was a good punch, and I remember responding with 4 or 5 punches back, and my dad told me, don't do that, don't get hit with nothing, so, but that just, to show the fighter that you're not in this fight, this is my fight still, I'm still in the league right now, I'm still controlling this fight. That's just in me to the want to win, you know. I don't know if you can train that or not, but my dad definitely implanted it to me and my sister.
Sebastian, obviously you were coming into this fight off of a hand injury. How did the hand hold up?
They feel good, you know. I could probably punch a brick wall. I won't be smart, but I could do that right now, and they're still fine, so very healthy, very happy.
Keith was talking about the fight maybe being stopped prematurely. Did you feel that way being in there with him? Did you feel like you had sufficiently damaged him and that he was on his last legs?
I didn't think it was stopped prematurely. I thought it was stopped at the right time because as soon as that eye cut open, you know, the doctor was already looking at that eye. and it was all purple. As soon as we stepped into the 6th round, I knew I had to bust it open, and it happened with one of the first punches. But you know, me as a person, as a human being, I wouldn't want him to take any more damage, but this is boxing, so it's not up to me.
And out of all the guys in the division, is there any one of them that you want the most?
Not really. I think I'm the best. I think they all need to come to me.
I think we got another question over here to the left.
Sebastian, congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother.
How realistic do you think maybe it could be for you to unify titles by the end of the year?
It's very realistic. It's just things need to be put together right. You know, like I don't know. I had a WBO for a little bit, but for some reason those guys were giving me a hard time the whole time. So I'm very comfortable with the WBC. I've been saying this over and over again. I'll fight these guys. I'll unify with these guys, but I'll probably drop the belt right after. I'll beat these guys for the title, take their title, and vacate it right away. They can, or they can keep it, you know. But I'll fight all these champions because that's what we want, right? We want Fundora to fight these champions or fight these fighters. But they can keep the belt after. I don't care. I'm happy with the WBC.
We have 2 more questions. Sean.
Sebastian, congrats, great performance. Question for you and for Samson as well. To your point about being the WBC champion, Vergil Ortiz is the interim titleist for your world title. He's obviously going through some issues right now with his promoter, but what do you think of that fight? Why do you feel based on tonight you would beat him? And for Samson, how realistic is that fight to be done this year?
I don't believe it will happen because the boxing world, you have a problem at this moment. And the worst thing sometimes is when management commit a mistake and doesn't recognize it. And when he recognizes it, it's too late. You know, Oscar de la Hoya decided to be my friend and part of my family. He treated that kid very well all his career, but sometimes management get greedy and now he paid the price. What we should talk about Ortiz in this moment, that probably he will not fight for the next year or so. And he will get stripped very soon of the WBC interim. So let's talk about somebody else. Tell me which one you want. And then I can tell you this is possible or not. But Ortiz is out of the game at this moment.
Is the winner of a potential Zayas and Ennis fight then realistic for Sebastian for this year?
Look, if it's in PBC, we have no issue. We're loyal to PBC, and we continue that way.
Sebastian, phenomenal performance. Crazy to sound like this, but I feel like you get knocked out by Brian Mendoza, probably the best thing that could have happened in your career. Ever since, we have seen you been growing, right? You've been using your distance. Speaking of the next fight, Charlo was after the fight talking about he pretty much gave you guys the belt, that no one has beaten him. It makes sense to fight Charlo next. How do you like to fight with Charlo?
I think that's a great fight. It's a PBC fighter as well. The last undisputed 154 champion as well. So, you know, fight with him seems like it makes sense.
All right. Well, Sebastian, congratulations on an impressive victory. We knew it was going to be an exciting fight, but I think you surprised people again with just how dominating you were with your performance over a very worthy opponent, Keith, one-time Thurman. Closing comments to fans and media here on tonight's performance.
Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the hate, whatever it was. Happy birthday to my little sister. You know, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Abby. Happy birthday to you.
24.
And we'll see you guys again soon. You know, we have to defend this title. Keep going. Thank you.
Well, we look forward to whenever that news drops. Sebastian and Team Fundora, enjoy this victory. Go back home, rest up, and we look forward to seeing you again later this year. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, WBC Super Welterweight World Champion Sebastian the Towering Inferno Fundora.